Good morning. I don't think I'm living under a rock, but perhaps I am. I may be the only one who was not familiar with Charlie Kirk. Though I'm sorry he died brutally, I understand that that was one of the things that he understood in life, that you live by the sword, you die by the sword. That's fairly harsh. The young man who's in custody today was turned in by his family. He's not a dedicated political party person. He just heard bad things about Charlie Kirk. His friends and his family said that Charlie Kirk wasn't a nice person. And so he targeted Charlie Kirk. He's 22 years old. He doesn't even know what his mind is going to be like in his 30s and 40s. Now, he was impressionable. At the same time, or the same day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, 2 young people in a Colorado school lost their lives, as well as the gunman who shot them. How many lives must we lose in America before we have sensible gun laws? You had the folks in Minnesota, the 2 Democrats, one a legislator and her husband, and now they're dead and their children are orphaned. You've got all the murders in all of the school systems. You've got so many people to mourn for. You even had an attempted assassination of Donald Trump. When do we say enough in this country? When I speak to people, most people are really decent folks. When I've gone out campaigning for mayor of New York City, some of my friends have said, "You can't come to my neighborhood. My mother or my wife won't go out at night." And I hear that not just in the Black community, but in the Asian community. So we need more community policing. We need to have safe communities. We probably need to pay our policemen a lot more than the $30,000 to $40,000 they get now. Because policing a big city with 5 boroughs takes a lot more than it does to police rural areas. And yet rural areas, 20 years ago, I know, in Nassau County, the police were getting $100,000 each. Here in New York City, we pay them half. And then they've got to rely on overtime, where they're using a lot of strength and energy and their backs to maneuver stadium seats and also barriers. This could be done by overseeing other folks who are younger and may not be making enough money or any money at all, but are healthy-bodied and would be willing to move the barriers and move the stadium seats. And it would give them some cash as well. There are better ways to do things. I think in New York City, too many folks have a very, very low standard for what they expect, and that shouldn't be. One of the things I always thought was really important was reading. I've read all my life for pleasure. I love it. If you put me with a book that I'm really excited about and it's espionage or it's a biography, sometimes I'll read that book straight through until I've finished it in a day and a half. The Economist says that when folks don't read, they can't be astute enough to see whether or not the politician they're voting for is really on the level. They don't have the cues. They don't have the analytical skills to decide, is that person on the level? Or is he a fabulist, like the Economist calls some politicians, who really can't come through with any of the proposals that they've made, but they sound good. I don't believe in that. I'm a pragmatist. I've solved problems all my life, whether it was at Ford Motor Company, whether it was Pfizer Pharmaceuticals, whether it was Bankers Trust, or my own business, commercial flooring. I was an innovator, and that's what I think we want in government. We don't want the same old. Gotta get rid of those fossil fuels. Gotta educate our children and our parents and make reading fun. Teach them civics so that they know about how our government should be working. Teach them analytical skills so that when the internet and AI becomes more sophisticated, it's good to know the truth, because there is only one reality, no matter what anyone tells you. We're living in a different world now. There are a lot of autocrats all over the globe trying to stifle humanity's move forward. When I looked at who's going nuclear and who's going renewable energy, the club is really pretty small. It's France, it's Germany, and there was one other that I forget. But the rest of us, hey, we're mired in fossil fuels. And fossil fuels, all they're doing for us is they're continuing to make us sicker. Sicker with toxic pollution. Sicker by having wildfires and floods and Arctic and Antarctic melting that seems to be unable to be controlled. And yet, once again in The Economist, I read about nuclear fission. That sounds wonderful. You just have to dig a mile down into the magma, put in a nuclear core, and let the Earth's crust do the rest. Sounds like a great idea for me. You don't have any waste. You don't have any nuclear byproducts to worry about, because if that well fails, guess what? The nuclear energy is contained. Nobody gets hurt. That sounds like a win-win. Would I know about it if I hadn't read about it? It's been developed by a young woman, a Dr. Mueller, in our own country. And now somebody in private business is taking her over. The startup, I think, is called Endeavor, which is very apt. So we've got a lot to look forward to. Identity politics, the politics of hate, that doesn't move us forward. What moves us forward is new ideas and pragmatism and embracing everyone and thinking of everyone's well-being when we think about government. It's not for one party, it's not for the other party, it's for all citizens, like it says in the Declaration of Independence, right? One nation, united under God, with liberty and justice for all.